I'll tell you one thing that's not going to make Niner fans happy. And maybe, I'm a believer that you should worry about yourself and don't worry about your neighbor, right? Don't worry about what teams are doing. Now, keep an eye on your teams in your division. I'm not saying that you don't try to match up. You do. But your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth goal have to be about your team, and everything else should just be kind of secondary. ESPN's analyst Aaron Schatz identified ideal landing spots for several NFL free agents. Did you see where he's got Jauan Jennings going?
Where does he have Jennings going?
The Seahawks.
Oh no.
Yes, he says his physical style of play would be, they're gonna say goodbye to Rashid Shaheed.
Yep.
They've got Brian Fleury as the OC. He's familiar with Jennings from being in San Francisco. John Schneider always seems like he gives an extra look at whoever the Niners cut. He knows that Jennings means a lot to the Niners. They have nothing but cap room in Seattle. This would stick it to the Niners. It would also give them another just absolute winning player. What do you think of Jennings to Seattle? Let me ask you this. What do you think the Niner fan reaction would be to it?
Oh, outrage. Outrage. I mean,
like, what the heck is going on here? I think people are expecting, if he goes to like the Raiders for some big payday, people will be like, you know what? He needed to get paid. But if he goes, and I brought this up about a month ago, I said, if he winds up going to another team for less money, that's a better Super Bowl contender than the Niners, that makes the Niners look really bad.
Yeah. I also think it would come down to the price, right? Like, let's say he signed with Seattle for $13-14 million. I think that's a very affordable and fair price to bring Jauan Jennings back to the Niners. Now, if he goes to Seattle for $20 million per year, let him walk, right? He's going to be 29 next year. The Niners need to get faster and younger as an offense. He is a slower player, and he's going to be 29. He's obviously maxed out his physical capabilities, but man, he fits the identity of Mike McDonald, John Schneider in Seattle as a tough, rugged football player who will snatch your chain and laugh about it and drive you crazy, a willing blocker and a team player. I think Niner fans would be bent out of shape about that. I mean, he's come through in so many big spots. He's earned the nickname Third and Jauan for a reason. You think about what he's done with the touchdown throw to Christian McCaffrey in the wild card game against the Eagles, the touchdown throw that he made to Christian McCaffrey in the Super Bowl, the touchdown that he caught in the Super Bowl against Kansas City in that same game. He has been incredible for the Niners, and what a great player developmental story. I mean, drafted in the 7th round, didn't make the 53 as a rookie, and it's gotten better every year. But I think there's a walkaway price for the Niners, and I'd be interested to see, and will be interested to see what that walking away price is.
Yeah, no, it's that one's going to be tough. I think that's going to be a tough moment. If he bolts for the Raiders or some big payday on some shitty team, people will be like, you know what? He need to get paid. But if he winds up going to a contender and takes less money to do it, man, that's going to make the Niners look bad. Couple last thoughts, and then we'll jet. There was a report that from David Bonilla on Niners Web Zone that maybe, he's talking about reunions, and they've got a reunion between Caden Ellis and Raheem Morris in San Francisco. He played for Morris in Atlanta. Caden Ellis is a kind of a quietly very productive player. He's got 20.5 career sacks, all in the last 5 seasons, 12.5 over the last 3 years. This year, he had an 84.6 pass rush grade from PFF, higher than any Niner defender, with more than 5 pass rush attempts. Is Luther Ellis's son, one of his sons? He's got a bunch of sons, actually. I wouldn't mind Jonah Ellis, the Broncos edge rusher.
Christian Ellis was a starter for the Patriots at linebacker. I mean,
right. Caden is a good player. I mean, this guy's the ultimate sire.
Dad played in the league. 3 sons playing in the league right now.
That's amazing. It's like Rick Barry or something.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, but what do you think? Is Caden Ellis? Do you see him as somebody who's going to follow Raheem Morris to the Niners? They're saying his market value is about $9 million annually. They're saying 3 years, $26.9 million in free agency. He's entering his 8th NFL season. Do you think the Niners go after him?
Yeah, I think the big question is what's going on with Nick Martin. Do the Niners think that he is an NFL player? What's going on with the concussion issues? Because I do think that with his playing style, like a bat out of hell, like it does fit that Fred Warner, Drake Greenlaw type of mentality at the linebacker spot. I thought this is pretty notable that Jeff Ulbrich, who the Niners had interest in hiring as their defensive coordinator prior to settling for Nick Sorensen, is now the DC with Atlanta. He turned around that defense overnight in 2025 under Raheem Morris. And he was asked something along the lines of, what would this defense look like without Ellis? And he said, it's hard to function without a player like Ellis. So him alongside Fred Warner, that would be a really good linebacking core. I think the Niners have clearly missed having a great second level of that defense, not having Dre Greenlaw, not having a player like Azeez Al-Shire. The linebacker play outside of Warner has been a little bit suspect over the last 2 years because of injuries and players who they've lost. So I would pay $9 million for a player like Ellis, especially with what he did under Raheem Morris last year with Atlanta, where he had a career season.
Last thought, and then we'll hit some supers and bolt. This is, I'm sharing the screen on a Coach Yak tweet. He's talking about a guy that I love. This kid, Miles Rouser, plays at ASU. He's a safety. And this is your hard-hitting, this is your C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I mean, this guy absolutely wants to destroy people. Supposedly he met with the Niners, the Seahawks, the Ravens, the Jets. These are all kinds of teams that it seems like look for these nasty players sometimes. The Niners and the Chiefs met with his defensive coordinator at ASU to talk about him as well. His name's Miles Rouser. He's going to be a 7th round pick, probably maybe a 6th or 7th round pick. But I got this guy listed as the safety that I want on day 3, who's just going to absolutely knock your block off. Is there a day 3 player? You went to the combine, so you have a pretty good feel for this probably. Is there a day 3 player or prospect in this upcoming draft that you're like, you know what? Nobody's talking about this guy, but I know this guy's a player and I love him, whether it's for the Niners, the Eagles, or any other team. Is there a day 3 player based on your combine, your trip to Indy, that you're like, you know what? If you can wind up with an extra day 3 pick, I would say if you can wind up with an extra day 3 pick, draft this guy, Miles Rouser, in the 7th round, because he will crush you. And he's just the kind of violent safety that I think they need. Is there anybody that jumped out to you?
Yeah, the USC safety Bishop Fitzgerald, I think, is a really interesting name. He had excellent ball production last year at USC, and his coverage grade was over 90. And I talked about this on the show. I think the Niners need to pinpoint a coverage safety for this team. You think about Jair Brown and Malik Mustafa. Mustafa is obviously much better than Jair Brown, but they're both better safeties downhill and around the line of scrimmage, kind of like Talanoa Hufanga, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think the Niners miss that center field, ball hawking, rangy type of safety who can make plays in the pass game. And Bishop Fitzgerald out of USC is a player who played really well under D'Anton Lim, who I would really like day 3.